What's up, Blue Jay fans? Robb Scott of the Jay Talking Podcast, and I'm here with a rant today. I got something I want to say. It's not even something I want to propose. It's not something I want to say I know about. It's a question I want to ask. And I want to ask, why can we not play small ball? Why will we not play small ball? Why will we not run, steal bases? Why will we not hit and run more often? Why will we not bunt? I don't understand this mindset. Not that just this team has, that fans have, that the American League has. Now, I believe in data and I believe in stats. And if you're going to show me the stats that say, you know what, pushing runners along and bunting them along and going for steals and blah, 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 it doesn't pay off. The statistics show that if you do that instead of just waiting for hits, station to station baseball is better, then I'll accept the numbers. I don't know the numbers, and I've not done all the research and all the data, but I don't understand why we don't do it. It seems like it's baseball. Baseball is not hitting home runs and doubles. Baseball is playing baseball. Baseball is a wide variety of situations and scenarios and circumstances that you put together that make it the great game. All right? And bunting's gone, and for the most part, running is gone, and I don't understand it. Those are magnificent weapons as far as I can tell. Magnificent weapons as I've seen them used. And you've seen them used. Now, not everybody's fast. Not everybody can bunt. And I wonder this. You can put a lot on a manager and say, actually, no, I'll take that back. You can't put a lot on a manager. I don't believe they have as much pull either way, wins or losses, as some might believe. I don't think everybody believes that, but I think most people know that the manager, for the most part, has only a certain limited amount of power over the team and what he can control and not control. And so when I look at Gibby, I think, okay, I don't think he's very creative. I don't think he's much of a risk taker. And I also don't think he's been given the roster to be either creative or a risk taker in large part. So he can't affect the wins and losses that much of this team, but he can affect the in-game play, which he does by mostly doing nothing. But we've seen, so to the small ball, we've seen 3 or 4 steals now in the last 3 games. All the Blue Jays stolen bases have come in the last 2 or 3 games. All of them. And why is that? Is that now because the situation just presented itself? Or Gibby finally realized this team is fucking shitty. We're not scoring any runs. We have to manufacture something. We have to manufacture anything, any way, anywhere, however we can. And that's what I think happened. I could be wrong. But if he did it last night and it worked, why does he not do it more? Why can we not do it more? I listened to Wilner and I listened to Joe Siddall. Siddall or Siddell? I don't know. Siddall criticized Kevin Pillar bunting last night. We don't ever fucking see this team bunt. Rarely. How do you criticize the odd bunt? That's part of the game. It's moving people along. And when you know the offense you're dealt with. Sure, he was our hottest hitter, but he's also not producing anything aside from the .323 average. He has 2 RBIs and 4 runs scored in 64 at-bats. There's no run production there. So that's a dead average. That is like a bag of chips. It's an empty calorie. So let's use him. He's speedy. He can run. Let's let him bunt. Let's let him... Why not bunt for singles? But anyway, back to that moment. Why criticize him for that bunt? This is exactly what this team needs to be doing. And it scored runs, and it's the only reason we won that game. Well, it's not the only reason. Of course, you got to score the other runs to make it. But if we didn't do that, we would have lost this game. You know, when you look back to the 2015 Jays, what do you think? I think most people think mashers. That team could fucking mash the lights out of pitchers. But you know what? That is not all that team did. I had some numbers written down here. What did I do with them? Oh, the 2015 offense. They were well-rounded as a team. They were first in runs scored. They were first in walks. They were 11th in stolen bases with an incredible 79% success rate. That is outstanding for a baseball club. So they ran, they walked, they hit, they mashed home runs, first in sac flies. They were 24th in the major leagues in strikeouts, so they made contact. That team scored a lot of runs not because they hit home runs alone. That team scored a lot of runs because they attacked every facet of the game, maybe aside from bunting. But you have to deal with what you have, what you've been given. That team didn't need to bunt because you knew there was power coming up, but they also did other things. They were aggressive. They stole bases. They made contact. They walked. You know, they were patient at the plate. This 2017 team cannot do any of those things even close to the proximity of the 2015 team. So you've got to produce other runs. You've got to produce runs in other ways. Bunt, run. Carrera can run. Carrera should be doing almost nothing else than trying to bunt every at bat. I mean, no, I understand that sounds ridiculous and predictable, and maybe the defenses could pick up on it. But that's a weapon for him, to lay down that bunt and run. And how often do we see him do it? He did it for a very short time, if I remember, last year, and that was it. Then it disappeared. Kevin Pillar can run. Get him running more. Get him bunting more. When you have a Ryan Goins, a Justin Smoke, a Darwin Barney, and Ezekiel Carrera, a Kevin Pillar, who I'll put in the same boat because he's really not that much of a hitter. These guys aren't mashers, and you have a lot of them on your team. So you have to figure out how to use them better. You have to figure out how to produce runs better, more smartly, more creatively than we're doing right now. So, this is my question to you and to myself. Why can't we play small ball? You know, when someone said to me on Twitter, you can't play small ball in the AL East. Why can't you play small ball in the AL East? If those guys are playing, like, we can't mash with those teams. We can't even mash with Tampa Bay anymore. We can't mash with Boston. The Yankees, I'm unsure of their team stats, but I doubt we can mash with them too. Baltimore, we're not mashing with. We're the worst offensive club in that division. For sure. So we got to attack it either way. We're in a fight. We are in a fight. And they've all brought knives. We don't have any knives. So we don't bring a knife. We bring a poisonous rat that they won't see. We bring a club. We bring other things. We bring other weapons. We don't run away. We don't try and be them. We aren't them. We can't do what they can do. We have to produce runs in other ways. Last night was a prime example of doing so and how it can be beneficial to this team. Let's do that more. Let's do that more. So again, I ask you, why can we not play small ball? I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to hear what you have to say about this. Leave a comment for me. Let's have this conversation. I know a lot of people think it's stupid, but you got to play with what you got, and what we got is a bag of fucking balls and sticks. So let's turn it into runs. Thank you for joining me. Subscribe to the channel, share it, comment, like. Definitely comment on this topic. And I appreciate you watching, and I'll be back tomorrow morning with another game recap of the Angels Blue Jays tonight. Thank you very much.